Hi guys, this is Divine Irony from Ghostlands again for a how-to vid for the patch 3.22 boss. I know I keep saying patch 3.22 really weirdly. The boss is called Onyxia. If you've watched my previous vid, that was the boss I was soloing. She's been beefed up for level 80 to mark WoW's 4-year anniversary, so now is a level 80 25 man and 10 man. No hard modes however, which pretty much sucks. She drops some really nice loot, and I'm going to be talking now just for a second on basically how to kill her. For this fight you will need 3 tanks on 25 man mode. You can do it with 2, but it gets very hit and miss with 2 because of the amount of adds that you might get if you're slow. So basically, if anything happens to one of your tanks, you got no backup, so it's a good idea to bring 3. You don't really need that much DPS for it. You can lose the DPS of one person for a tank. It's not that big of a deal. You will need about 6 to 8 healers, which most people should have that. You can take less, but you're really going to have to trust your healers to do this. You will need to split them up into 2 groups. Half of them go one side of the raid, and half of them go the other side of the raid. Now you'll understand this why. Okay, first we're going to talk about phase 1 of the fight. Have your tank pull the boss right to the back of the room with his back to the wall. Make sure all your melee DPS go to the side of the boss, because if they try to hit in front of the boss, not only will they get parry jabbed and not be able to hit a lot of the things, which melee shouldn't be attacking in front of the boss anyway. If they attack from behind, which is logically where melee usually attack from, they will be tail whipped by Onyxia and you might get ad spawn, so it's a good idea not to stand behind Onyxia. All range basically on the boss, they're spread out a bit. It's not that big of a deal. When Onyxia reaches, I think about 60%, it might be 70%, it's around that point, she will go into phase 2 where she will fly in the air. Now at this point, only the ranged DPS will be able to hit her, so make sure you have an even raid of some melee, some ranged. But you will need some melee, you can't just take an entire ranged raid, because there's a reason for this. Okay, when phase 2 starts, 2 ad swarms will start. This is why you need 3 tanks. You have 1 tank to the left entrance and 1 tank to the right entrance. Give your tanks about 5 seconds to build up aggro and then just basically AoE them down completely, kill them all. Make sure no range goes back on the boss until they're all dead. When all the whelps are dead, all range go on the boss and all melee go onto the new ad that spawns. Now this new ad is going to be tanked by a tank because they do quite a bit of damage. They will do a fire spear on a tank which does quite a bit of damage, so healers need to watch out for that. You will need about 2 healers on each tank when they do this, at least. If you notice, they do a blast wave. Now this blast wave is pretty deadly. If you did the trash before, you will understand that the blast wave from the trash wasn't that strong. Well, this blast wave is very strong and can one-shot you. So if there's a blast wave, it is a long casting time. There's no excuse to not run out. It's very easy. And basically that's it. For the ad spawn, they will spawn every 30 to 40 seconds after each other. I think it's about 45 seconds they spawn after each other. So you need to DPS them down quickly, otherwise you'll get overrun by them. Onyxia will do an ability during this fight. She will deep breathe. Now, when she deep breathes, you put more and more dots on her. Well, you don't really need to do that. That was just a pop culture reference there. Basically, if she deep breathes, you go right to the sides of the room. You go right to the sides of the walls. Don't go into the whelp pit, because that's stupid. You go to the sides of the walls, because deep breathe is less likely to hit you there. Do not jump on top of the walls, because you do run the risk of making Onyxia evade bug, and no one wants to evade bug because you just wasted something like 5 minutes of someone else's time, and it's not a good thing to do. When Onyxia reaches 40% from ranged targets, she will go down. Make sure to have a fear ward on your tank at this point in the fight, because otherwise Onyxia will go around the raid weirdly, because there's an aggro dump at this point in the fight, so if your tank doesn't get a fear ward, he can't start building aggro, and Onyxia goes one-shotting people. She will fear sometimes during the fight, and she will basically fire will pop up from the floor. Do not stand in the cracks because you will take damage. I'm not sure if that's correct, but it's very easy to stay out of the cracks, so why stay in the cracks? There's no reason to. Make sure to DPS all the ads down before you start going back onto Onyxia. And basically this is phase 1 again. You just make sure you melee it to the sides of him, range all, DPS him down, spread out a bit between each other, and every time there's a fear, make sure there's a fear ward or trebent totem on the tank, so the tank can pick it up quickly. There is a little bit of a risk if the tank does not get a fear ward, because the boss could go into a weird mode where she turns, and this might make her tail whip the melee. If the melee get tail whipped into the ad spawn, make sure to have your ad tank go right to where the melee were and pick up the ads. And basically, either if she's still high, DPS down the ads first. If she's low, then DPS Onyxia first, and the ads will just basically disappear. I will now talk about the loot we got. We got a nice Warlock 245 helmet. We got a Rogue T45 helmet. A weird dagger that lowers stats by 130 for some reason. We got a head of her, obviously. The loots for those aren't that nice. We got a bag, and we got a nice sack of gems with epic gems in there. I hope you like my narration, and I'll see you in another vid. Peace out, guys, and long live Onyxia.